Good morning, I'm Kelli Paddon.
And I'm Bradley Gionet.
Welcome to Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend. This week, we welcome Jessica Ames of Chilliwack Neighbourhood Welcome.
We'll also get into a conversation with the 66.6 Film Race winner for Best Actor, Sound, and category winner for Psychological Horror, Daniel Crabb.
And guess what? Daybreak has been nominated for a 2025 Chillies Award presented by ANDMAR in the Film or Video Series category.
And all the news and events from the Fraser Valley presented by our friends at Black Press Media. Right after this.
Welcome back and welcome to the show, Bradley Gionet.
Thank you.
So we've known each other a really long time. Yeah, it's been good. But for our viewers that haven't met you already, who are you?
Who am I? I've lived in the Chilliwack area for about 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very involved with various community activities. I was on the City of Chilliwack's Public Arts Advisory Committee. And going back to COVID time, I was the guy that launched Corona Okie. It was kind of a thing.
It was such a thing, and it was a lot of fun. But that's just a teaser. We're going to have a more in-depth conversation a little bit later in the show. But for right now, we're going to pivot to news from around the Fraser Valley presented by Black Press Media. So I'm going to start in Agassiz. Adam Louie of the Agassiz Harrison Observer reports that a young duck has a new lease on life thanks to volunteers and rescue workers in Harrison Hot Springs. So early last week, Miami River Streamkeepers Society member Jane Perrin spotted a duck, a juvenile pie-billed, tangled up in plastic mesh in the Harrison Lake Lagoon. So Perrin reminds the public that all forms of plastic can be a hazard for wildlife, including plastic bottles or bags, and to make sure you're disposing of them in their proper containers.
Adam Lewis again reported that previously more than 8,000 hazelnut trees planted in an Agassiz orchard fell victim to the dreaded Eastern Filbert blight, virtually wiping out the local industry. This blight dates back to the first reported case in Oregon in 1958. Now, a decade later, the hazelnut industry is showing signs of recovery, and there's hopes that research being done at UFV will help through rigorous testing and measuring. University of the Fraser Valley UFV Assistant Professor Dr. Chris Bodnar says BC growers operate a net loss every year, but he remains optimistic that the work being done at UFV can help pave the way for the future of the hazelnut industry and beyond.
Yeah, and every once in a while they have an agricultural event, and you can get some amazing chocolate-covered hazelnuts from local.
I'm all about it.
I'm all about it. In Chilliwack, Jennifer Feinberg reports the Chilliwack City Council has voted on a pilot to cut speed limits to 40 kilometers an hour. It would focus on the areas of Garrison Crossing to measure speed in an area that already has traffic calming, and on Fairfield Island, which was chosen to represent a neighborhood with wider roads that don't generally include sidewalks or traffic calming. So Garrison and Fairfield have varying average speeds, with measured averages for Garrison ranging from about 34 to 40 kilometers an hour, while Fairfield has average speeds ranging from 46 to 53 kilometers an hour. So really important for safety, and I'm looking forward to the results.
Absolutely. Commode Moodley of the Hope Standard reports Hope RCMP are asking for the public's help in finding a missing 63-year-old man from Yale near Hope. Craig Voisin was reported missing on Thursday, October 16th, and was last seen in Yale on August 25th. Wow. He's described as 6 feet tall, male, weighing 165 pounds with gray hair and brown eyes. Craig's disappearance is out of character for him and his family. They're deeply concerned about his well-being, and said Staff Sergeant...
Mike Sargent.
Mike Sargent?
It's the best name ever for a Staff Sergeant.
Fantastic.
That's really sad. That's scary. Okay, so keep your eyes out. Also from Moodley, the District of Hope Council has authorized using over $73,000 from a reserve fund to cover newly identified archaeological costs for the Hope Station House project. So that's been an ongoing thing in the news, but...
A couple of years now.
Yeah, archaeological work is important.
In Mission Records states
The staff report?
Staff report, not the state report. It's a staff report that Fraser Health is shutting down rumors about nursing layoffs. There have been posts circulating on local social media groups over the past week suggesting some nurses in Mission were informed of layoff notices to take effect in December. Also, from the Mission record, a stolen travel trailer has been mysteriously returned. The trailer was stolen from a vacant lot on Dooney Trunk Road, but was returned one day after RCMP released a photo of the trailer and the details of the theft.
Yeah. Good on them. So just after the release of the details, it was just dropped off in a pullout near Keystone Avenue in Mission.
There you go.
Yeah, so, I mean, great. I guess getting the message out works. So that's it for the news today. Thank you, Black Press, and, all the Fraser Valley publications for sharing the picks for news this week. After the break, our interview with Jessica Ames of Chilliwack Neighbourhood Welcome. Welcome back. Jessica, welcome to Daybreak. Very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
For those who haven't had the pleasure yet of meeting you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, first, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to share what I do and who I am. So, yeah, my name is Jessica Ames. I am originally from Terrace, British Columbia, so I'm a northern girl. And I moved to Vancouver after I graduated high school. I pursued a dance career. I went to Arts Umbrella on Granville Island.
Okay.
Graduated as a contemporary dance artist. Did a little bit of dancing in Europe, in Toronto, Vancouver, and then I transitioned into teaching. Moved back to Terrace and bought into the dance studio up there. Started teaching dance all through COVID, and then I got pregnant. Halfway through my pregnancy, decided to move to Chilliwack because that's where my partner's family was, and they're semi-retired and a little bit, able to, more flexible, able to help with the baby a little bit more. So that's what landed me here in Chilliwack, and I started the Neighbourhood Welcome about a year ago now.
All right, well, I'm really excited to talk about Neighbourhood Welcome, and yeah, everything changes once you start making humans, right?
Yeah, big shift.
Plans out the window, and then you get to start this whole new adventure. Yes. But Neighbourhood Welcome. Okay, so I'm really excited to know how this works. So for some people, they might know of like Welcome Wagon, which is no longer operating.
Yes.
So is Neighbourhood Welcome like that? Because that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, it's a very similar program. It's a local welcoming initiative. Welcome Wagon, everybody knows that name because they were around for about 40 years across the country, welcoming all the newcomers to the communities. Unfortunately, that company went under in 2020 due to COVID. So that opened up the opportunity for the Neighbourhood Welcome to, franchise out and grow and expand. But the Neighbourhood Welcome started in Port Alberni about 9 years ago now.
Okay.
And now we're starting to spread into the Fraser Valley. We have a couple area coordinators out in like Kelowna and Penticton. And we also have some in Alberta and Saskatchewan now too. But basically what I do every single month, I find 30 newcomers who've moved to Chilliwack.
Okay.
They have to have moved here within the last 12 months, and I give them a free welcome package, and they're very grateful.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so what kinds of things are in these welcome packages for newcomers? And I'm assuming it's so that they can get to know the community?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's community specific?
Yes.
Okay, so what kinds of things are in the packages?
Well, the Neighbourhood Welcome, we're all about just connecting the community. So I have lots of community groups that are partnered to the program, and we have right now about 40 local businesses, locally owned and operated businesses that are very community minded, want to give back, and grow the shop local community. And
All right, I love a support local. So how does someone become one of the 30? And how do you do 30 is a lot.
I know. Yeah, some people are like, why not 40? I'm like, honestly, 30 is probably my max.
You're one person.
Yes, it's just me. So I find my 30 people many different ways. Word of mouth has really started to spread within the community in the last year. So lots of people just go to our website, fill out a form, say, hey, I'm new to Chilliwack, and then I'll contact them, arranging a good time to either deliver a welcome package right to their door. If they don't want people coming to their house, I'll meet them at a coffee shop. And about once a month, I like to attend at least one local market or local event. I have my booth, and I'll invite newcomers to come meet me there, enjoy the event, and pick up their free welcome package.
Okay, so that's fantastic. All right. So I know Chilliwack is growing so quickly. So 30 is, the capacity of one person. Are you looking to grow a team or anything? Are you looking for volunteers or anything like that? Or are we keeping it at 30 for right now?
I like to keep it at 30, just so that my business partners, they have a budget on what they're able to contribute.
That makes sense.
So I don't want to get too out of control that it doesn't include some of the smaller businesses that wouldn't be able to afford more. So
okay. I love that. I love a support local. So we know if you're new how to get a hold of you, but what if you're a business that wants to get involved?
Oh, yeah. Just shoot me an email. It's chilliwacknw@gmail.com. I can send you some information and what the application form is all about, and answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, and I know you mentioned the webpage. It's www.neighborhoodwelcome.org, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And any social media, or is that how you like people to reach out?
No, I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well. Chilliwack Neighbourhood Welcome. You can find me there. I do lots of posts for the newcomers to see what's going on, any deals, events, things like that. I just post everything Chilliwack.
All right. Well, a great way to get to know what's happening would be to watch Daybreak on Friday mornings.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything else people should know about the Neighborhood Welcome?
I think, other ways that I find newcomers is through my social media a lot.
Okay.
I post on the Good Life in Chilliwack page a lot. That's where I find a lot of newcomers as well. And then on the other side of things, for any businesses that are interested in partnering with the program, we do offer exclusivity. So if you're my hairdresser, you're my only hairdresser. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for newcomers, this is 100% free.
Absolutely.
And they're welcome to the community, and we want to put our best foot forward. So thank you so much for doing this work. It's really fantastic to be able to welcome people in.
Thanks.
Best of luck on your mission. And anybody who wants to get in touch, you can reach out on social media, or again, www.neighborhoodwelcome.org. Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, Kelly.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, and welcome to Daybreak, Daniel. Very excited to have you here. Multi-award winner at the 66 film race last weekend. Sounds a little ominous, but can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, a bunch of filmmakers had 66 hours, 6 minutes, and 6 seconds to create a horror film. There's a couple of genres that we that was chosen out of a hat for us.
Oh.
And then, basically the clock started and we all went off. We wrote, filmed, edited, and finished a horror film, and then we screened it at the Chilliwack Museum and Archives last Saturday.
And the films had to be 6 minutes and 66 seconds, which is actually 7 minutes and
7 minutes
6
and
seconds.
6 seconds, yeah.
So, and you fit it right in.
Yep.
Okay, wow, okay. That is a lot of work. So your film, Rot With Me, which, freaky title, what was it about? And what inspired you to write it and film it and star in it and produce it?
Well, I didn't do it all by myself. I had help from my friends Gabriel, Nathaniel, and Jake. They showed up to help make it possible. Primarily, I write and direct, but I've had sort of an itch to start acting as well. Mm-hmm. So I figured this would be a cool opportunity for me to sort of add that as well. The film is essentially about a character named Luke, who I play, who sort of enters a self-imposed state of isolation and solitude. And it's sort of a visual representation of how his mind starts to degrade in a way that he and the audience can comprehend. So it's just very freaky stuff that happens for 7 minutes.
Okay, so Rot With Me, that it's about the isolation.
Yeah, he like his mind is physically like rotting like in real time.
Okay, it sounds very intriguing. And we're about to take a look at a snippet from the film. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're about to see?
So yeah, Luke essentially, the surroundings in his apartment, his TV, his phone, his clock, they're all sort of manifesting the trauma he's experienced in ways that he can understand. So it's up to, interpretation if this is actually happening or if he's just seeing it. But he starts to see a lost love on his screen, and he is basically being forced to rewatch the horrible thing that happened to her. And it basically sort of sends him on his own spiral because he just can't handle seeing it so many times.
So that sounds amazing. Let's take a look at it.
Monica. Oh. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
All right, that was fantastic. I'm definitely intrigued, and I can't wait to see the whole thing. So what inspired it? Like, what was it like to make it?
I think a big thing that helped create the whole film was actually just the limitations that I was given. I genuinely believe that limitations invite creativity, and there just wasn't any room for doubt when I was making this project. So essentially everything I did, I just had to kind of just do, and sort of it created this really cool energy with myself, Gabriel, Nathaniel, Jake, where we all sort of just were together creating something that we couldn't go back on, and we couldn't doubt ourselves. And I'm, even if it's not in its most perfect or polished state, I actually think it might be one of my proudest creations just because of how human it is, and with how artificial intelligence AI is like slowly creeping its way into film. People are using AI to make music for films and write and all this terrible stuff. These kinds of events are so important because it just shows it's a presentation of true human creativity and what people can create under incredibly tight deadlines and time windows. So I'm very excited to do more of these kinds of projects because it's just such an awesome energy that it invites.
Well, it sounds like when there's not time to doubt the risks that you're taking creatively, you can just really make something that you're proud of, and you should be so proud of it. Huge congrats to you and the whole team on the awards. Now, I also understand there is a feature film, unrelated, in the works that will be coming out 2026.
Yeah, fall 2026. It's called The Professional. It's a feature film that I wrote and directed with all my closest friends and family. It's very local. We filmed at the Cottonwood Cinemas before and after it got torn down, the Chilliwack Cultural Center, 2 Dairy Queens, as well as a bunch of other places in Chilliwack and Hope. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very excited to show everybody sort of the final product. It's about 2 estranged childhood best friends who sort of fall into a very dark path, which is basically becoming criminals. And they sort of have to separately deal with their own demons as they are presented a very dangerous task of robbing a independent movie theater.
All right, well, huge congrats on these awards. Can't wait to see everything else coming out in 2026, the feature film, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure there'll be more awards following there as you make your debut your debuts, I guess, as a filmmaker and an actor in this one, right? So
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thanks so much for being on the show. Huge congratulations, and we will be right back.
We Sunday driving, and the sun's bright shining. We load up the doggies, gas up our rifle. We're gonna hit that 4 lane, and then we off a line. We come alive when we Sunday driving.
Welcome back, and Bradley, we finally get to you. Thank you so much for being my co-host this week. We gave a little teaser. We talked a little bit about Bradley and Corona-oki and just mentioned it there. But for people who don't know, what is that?
So right at the start of the COVID pandemic, I was planning a Chilliwack citywide karaoke contest, and it got canceled, obviously. And we launched an online group through Facebook, and we decided that we were going to have people just do karaoke from their living rooms when we were all locked in our homes.
Yeah.
And it went international. It was crazy. We had at one point about 26,000 people submitting videos, and we were in about 30 different countries. And yeah, we were on the radio, on TV, all over the internet. It was
In the legislature?
In the legislature. It was a little wild, yeah.
And it was totally organic.
Totally organic. I thought maybe we would have 100 followers, and I think we capped out it was about 26,000.
Okay, so that's where a lot of people might have had their introduction to you.
They might.
But then world events have happened, community events have happened, and you've been right at the front of supporting community. So for people who don't know, what are some other things that you've been involved in?
Well, I jump in wherever there's a need, or I try to. For the last 5 years, I've been on the board of directors for the Chilliwack Museum and Archives, so I'm the vice president currently. And that's sort of a monthly commitment that I'm involved in. The biggest thing I think where most people would know me is through the efforts we've put in Chilliwack with Ukrainians, finding housing for Ukrainians. Yeah.
Okay, so, and you've received awards for that. You've been all over the place with talks, and helped build the community here and make sure that we know what we can do to help and make sure Ukrainians are welcome.
Well, it wasn't just me. We had lots of people
team,
jump in. Yeah, I think I was lucky enough to get airtime to be able to just spread the message of what it was that we needed and get help. So there was lots of families across Chilliwack involved in this, but I was kind of organically just became kind of the face behind it and involved with different charitable groups throughout Chilliwack and, just getting the message out. And somehow, we thought maybe we'd get a couple dozen Ukrainians come, that we could provide housing for. And we estimate we've got about 450 now.
Okay. And that, again, Facebook was a really big part of that, right?
Facebook
that was
the
a huge tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have Corona-oki, that was on Facebook. We have, changing the landscape here in Chilliwack as far as Ukrainian community. That was hugely on Facebook. There's something really special you're working on right now, though, on Facebook as well. Can you share a bit about that?
Really important. So as sort of our involvement, my family's involvement with Ukrainians came to an end, my mother got sick. And she passed away August 31st of this year. And part of just sort of that grief process, I started another Facebook page. So this one's called Grief and Good Food. And I'm working through Mom's recipes. Those old, tattered,
handwritten,
terrible things are spilled all over them, missing notes, whatever. Working through all of that, and then sharing not only the recipes with friends, families, and now perfect strangers, but also just telling the story and keeping not only my mother, but also my grandmother and one of my great aunts. I make a lot of her recipes, and so just kind of sharing those with everybody.
So I read one that your dad loved the other night. What was it with the jelly?
Oh, grape jelly meatballs.
Grape jelly meatballs.
Yeah.
So it looked great. I wasn't sure, but that was fun. So where did that recipe come from?
I don't know where it came from. Mom
was there
used to
jelly
make...
all over it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. Mom made grape jelly meatballs every Christmas Eve for pretty much as long as I can remember.
All right.
And they actually weren't my favorite things, but it's something my dad really likes.
Your dad loved them,
and
right?
And so the other night I said, okay, it's grape jelly meatball and rice tonight. Let's see how this goes. And it turned out good, so I shared the recipe. Although if it turned out really bad, I would have still told the story about it. But it was just another one of those ways of keeping Mom's memory with us.
And so you also got a bit of a shout out or a connect from, who was it, Midwestern Mom? Is that what their name is?
Yeah, the Midwestern Mom. She's kind of like the Jell-O salad queen of Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I've been following her for years, and I think she's just absolutely amazing. And she gave me a shout out, and I was just like, wow, this is like royalty. This is fantastic. So I just adore her.
Okay, well, speaking of royalty, you're a royal watcher as well.
I am.
You have all things royal at your place, and I know you just got a fabulous new backdrop of like the queen and the whole balcony. So Anything we should know? Because you're a big tea drinker, and you taught me something the other day.
What did I teach you about tea?
About the pinky.
Oh, yes, the
Yes,
pinky.
don't lift up your pinky because that was like a super secret signal in the French court, right?
Absolutely. So a lot of people, when they do high tea or afternoon tea, don't even get me started on that being misnamed. A lot of people think that they're extra posh if they, lift their pinky and drink their tea. But yeah, in the French court, that actually meant that you had an STI.
Okay.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Unless you have an STI and you want to tell people that whilst having
They won't
tea.
know. They won't know.
No, they won't know.
All right. So thank you so much for being on. So we have talked Corona Oki. We have talked Ukrainians. We have talked the museum, which is great.
Yeah.
And grief and good food and royal watching. So I am sure we will have you on again. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's been great. So next up, we're back with Black Press's best events for you in the Fraser Valley this weekend. Welcome back. Thanks for being here, Bradley. I feel like you have a few more episodes in you.
I think we have a few things that we could talk about. So yes, thank you. Great interviews today, actually, as well, with Daniel Crabb of the 66.6 Film Race and Jessica Ames of Chilliwack Neighbourhood Welcome. Speaking of film, we're heading into the last few days of the Chilliwack Independent Film Festival. Over 100 films being screened at the new location at Galaxy 7 Cinema.
Mm-hmm. It's great entertainment. It doesn't cost a lot. And so definitely encourage everyone, if you're not already doing something this weekend, to treat yourself to an indie film.
A little nicer than my plan of working in the yard.
Well, maybe I'll be squeezing that in. I'm also going to check out the Fraser Valley Women's Expo.
Take me there.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. It looks like we're jumping into activities for the weekend. So, continuing in Chilliwack, hundreds of people are expected to gather on October 25th for the 3rd annual Mrs. Roper Romp. And I will be there with my caftan and my wig. It's an homage to the 1970s sitcom Three's Company and has... it's become a big event all over North America with people dressing up in orange wigs and caftans and characters like Mrs. Helen Roper. Often she was dressed in the caftan with the big jewelry. I can't wait. I'll be channeling her. The festivities start at 1881 at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, and there's a march to the Vineyard Center, which will be for the day, the Regal Beagle from the show. You have to be a fan to understand that one. But tickets are through the Facebook event page, Chilliwack Roper Romp 2025.
And here's a hotly anticipated event. The Rotary Club of Chilliwack's annual indoor book sale returns to Chilliwack Heritage Park from Sunday, October 26th to Saturday, November 1st. Tons of thousands of used books will be for sale that day, and it runs from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day.
Okay, and in Abbotsford, it's Abbey Canucks home game opener at the Abbotsford Centre, where they will face the Ontario Reign. And for you non-sports fans, no, it's not rain like we get in BC, but rain like King Charles, Queen Elizabeth. Anyway, that was a ridiculous tangent.
We can, like this
Yeah.
kind of rain.
Yes.
Okay.
Start time is set for 7 p.m.
Okay, so not for that. Then also tonight, something affordable, Free Fall Carnival taking place at the parking lot of the Seven Oaks Alliance Church at 2575 Gladwin.
Love that.
Starting at 5:30, runs till 9. Short notice, but great for the kids. And there's also the rain to consider. So
'Tis the season.
it is.
Yeah. Okay, thank you to Black Press and all the fine journalists who curate the stories and events that we're able to share every week with you. So sad, but I think it's time to go. People need to get to work, maybe.
It's time to go.
They need to get on with their day. Yeah, loved having you here
you.
on the program. Just let us know when you're available, and next time bring snacks. For everybody else,
Grape jelly meatballs?
no. Not at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Why not?
Maybe, who knows?
Jell-O salad?
We'll see.
For breakfast?
Midwestern mom.
Yeah,
She'd recommend.
She would recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for our Halloween special, and also all next week on Chill TV, the 66.6 horror screenings all week long leading up to Halloween. And to all of you, thanks so much for watching, and have a fabulous Fraser Valley weekend.